Dave, just firstly, just impressions. Obviously, it's a different opponent, the UK side, Scotland. Was that what you were expecting?
Yeah, absolutely.
What did you say to the group at both at half time and at full time?
We haven't had a chat after full time yet. But at half time, we talked a bit about discipline. We talked about the fact that we'd made a lot of a play. We'd got over the chalk a couple of times and got denied, and just more of the same. If we felt if we could play at the right end of the field and force a bit of pressure, we'd get rewarded. So did that initially at the start of the second half, but got caught at our end in the last 20 through a lack of discipline and maybe through some decision making.
Lack of discipline, specifically the Alan Alatoa yellow card. What was your reading on that? We heard Michael's comments to Roman. What?
I'm not one to have a crack at referees around decisions and that sort of thing, but it was a pretty tough decision against us, I thought.
And can you just give us an update around Taniela? What's he looking like? Also Jordan Bataya as well.
Yeah, Geordie tweaked a hammy, so we'll assess that. But chances are he won't be available this week. Nella, obviously, they got a head knock. But he's fine at the moment, so he's got enough time to be available for next week. But obviously, he has to go through a few protocols, and so we'll do that and find out late in the week whether he's available.
Did you breathe a sigh of relief when Alan was past his head HA? Obviously, a couple of tight heads out there at one point.
Yeah, it sort of happens like that, doesn't it? And Slips had played a hell of a lot of footy at loose end and then jumped across the other side. So we're fortunate we've got someone like Slips who has the ability to do both sides, and it bought us a little bit of time before Al got back from the sin bin and then again from his HIA.
That was O'Connor's first game back at 10. How do you think he fared?
It was a tough game because we just struggled to get things going. We got penalised a bit in possession when we thought we had him under pressure, and we struggled to get our game going in the last 20 as well. They did a pretty good job of defending the maul, I think there was a handful of decisions that we made and maybe the ref made which shaped the last 20. So we've got to take it on the chin. We've got to be better. We've got to be better disciplined. We've got to be more accurate.
Did you get what you wanted from the likes of Arnold and Will Skelton today?
Yeah, it's great having those guys back in the mix. Rory was a constant source of possession while he was out there, and it would have been nice for us to be at the right end of the field in the last 20 with Big Will carrying, but we didn't control that well enough.
Michael, just your impressions of being out in the field. How did you find the difference in styles of play, but also the crowd watching from afar? It seemed like they were pretty vocal.
I'll start with the crowd. I thought it was so fantastic to be back up here playing in front of a chock-a-block Northern Hemisphere stadium. Like it was awesome to be a part of. The crowd, from the moment we ran out, were electric. So great to be in front of a full crowd there. It was a tough one. It was tit for tat there for a while. Like Dave's saying, I don't think we were able to really gather momentum. It was very stop-start. Scotland played well in denying us a lot of ball, like Dave's saying, and we weren't able to recycle and get through some of the stuff we wanted, which was tough for us and frustrating. Look, we fought to a point there, poked our nose in front, but couldn't stay down on their side of the field. Through our discipline and their ability to pressure our ball. So Scots did well there.
Dave, you had
Dave, Andrew Mertens. Nathan. Dave, Andrew Mertens on the post game was saying that you've kind of muddled through the past two games, and that if you play like that again, England could potentially put a heap on you. Like, what areas do you feel that's a fair assessment, and what areas do you kind of feel you need to improve to come up against England?
Nah, look, he's a smart man, Mertz, but no, I don't agree with that assessment. Look, it's got to show a strong team, so, it sounds like he's disrespecting the ability of them. They're very competitive in Six Nations. They lost by a late penalty to Ireland. They lost by 1 point to Wales. They win both those games. They win Six Nations. So, look, they're a really good side. Look, we didn't play anywhere near as well as we'd like to. So we know that. We've got to be able to build pressure for longer. And, we got pinged a bit in possession from cleaning out and various other things. And so, we're going to make some shifts there. But, I thought we defended really well. We created multiple turnovers, and when Scotland had a lot of possession, so hence the reason the score's close. But we've got more in us. We certainly need to be a lot better, and we'll need to be a lot better against England.
Can I just get an insight into your thinking with the big guys that you've brought in from France? Do you expect that you'll continue to run out what you think is your best side all the time throughout the next two matches, and won't necessarily give concession to guys who might have been there in the past in the Rugby Championship? And I talk of Matt Phillip and those kind of guys.
I mean, we'll make an assessment around selection tomorrow. We're a little bit clearer how guys have come through. We've talked about sharing the workload. So things will be a bit clearer over the next 48 hours.
They've come off that. Isaiah Parisi had such an impact in that first try and in defence for the last 5 minutes. With Geordie, as you're saying, most likely out for Saturday's clash with England, does he figure into your discussions for a wing spot, given the fact he's played a lot of games for Waratahs in the centres?
Look, again, we'll assess where we're at tomorrow, get a bit of clarity, and we've got some options here. We obviously moved Kirtley back to 15 late and put Cowles to the wing. Look, Izzy's an option to start. We've got Filippo Danguna on tour. He's an option. So, we'll assess the damage and let you guys know later in the week.
And on Kirtley only came on for the last 15 minutes, but your thoughts on being able to bring someone on like that with 15 to go, with his experience?
Look, you're right. It's very experienced, and it's been great having him in camp this week. They've had to get their head around a lot of what we're trying to do, and he'll certainly be better for that.
Dave, can I just ask you, there were several Glasgow players in that Scotland side. Does it give you any sort of kind of satisfaction that you've had a hand in their development?
Absolutely not. Look, they're great men. I love my time here. It's nice seeing them going well. I wouldn't like to see them go so well today, but look, geez, my commitments here with the Wallabies, and we're incredibly disappointed.
Thank you.
Dave, can I just get your thoughts on the scrum today and how that fared for Australia?
Look, I thought it was a bit of a mess. So look, we'll feedback directly to the referees, but I guess it's a tough area to adjudicate, and look, we, as happens every week, I guess, around scrum, we certainly didn't agree with a number of the decisions.
Michael, it's been a long time since Australia's beaten England. 2015 World Cup. What's the drive like to atone for those defeats of late?
Yeah, it's the whole tour has been pretty large in terms of what we want to achieve up here, and that's a setback today. So the motivation was about going really well today and continuing the momentum that we've built in the last the year really. We roll now to a 6-day turnaround against the English, and the record hasn't been great, but a lot of these guys haven't played up here, haven't been a part of those games, so don't feel that sort of stuff. It's a new team, and it's a great challenge for us next week to roll into England. So the fire in the belly hasn't extinguished at all. I guess after that it's just raised.